And just like that, we're on to the next. Hisuian Decidueye is on the podium right now. I was gonna say the chopping block, but good God, that sounds awful. It's on the podium right now. It's gonna get its opportunity to shine. In fact, I believe attack on Samurott. Just gonna put Sam there because I don't think that's gonna fit. But he suggested this, and so yeah, we're gonna hop right into it. I'm gonna just say HD. I'm gonna call him HD. All right, because that's too much. I can barely say Hisuian, and Decidueye. Are you kidding me? But yeah, getting into the thick of it, we have Hisuian Decidueye here, and it's actually very, very interesting in that its typing, being fighting, allows it to be Sucker Punch immune, right? The menace himself. Its typing is actually quite useful defensively, not quite Chestnut level in terms of ability plus pairing, though. You know, Chestnut, because Chestnut's ability allows it to wall Amoongus, which obviously Hisuian Decidueye cannot do. Gets access to spikes and things like that. But what this does gets his defog in conjunction with triple arrows. Why does that matter, Jam? Well, what is the one thing in the metagame that does not like things defogging upon it? Yeah, exactly. Your boy Goldengo. However, with triple arrows, this is super effective. And I ran enough speed for no speed investment max defense variants because I think that's the only one that's not going to get to a KO by these arrows. And it can get flinched or have a defense drop or just get crit. All of them are great in my book. And so that allows it to be one of the most reliable defoggers. Not only that, a lot of the stealth rock options in the tier actually want no smoke from this guy, other than maybe like a mixed chomp. But Tusk, for the most part, will likely want no smoke with this guy. Debating whether or not I'll put a grass move on here. Excuse me. And honestly, whether or not it's better to be Grass Knot over Leaf Blade, because Grass Knot beats, does heavy work versus Tusk Garg. Tusk Garg. What was another thing? Dondozo, right? More so than I believe Leaf Blade. So, that's an option to consider. I'm gonna see. It's really for those three, right? For those matchups, because Tusk can get, cocky and feel like, hey, I'm just. But other than that, very pivot heavy. Well, it could have been pivot heavy. It's not Specs Pulse. I'm gonna try out this Will-O-Wisp variant. I think is quite useful. Also considering potentially using Hydro Pump, Pult, Lauren, Garganical, and Blow Away in one go, which would open up my Baxcalibur. And make Corviknight's job a lot easier. So it's something I'm considering, but we're going to try this because I haven't tried this set in a while. But the objective was to use Hisuian Decidueye HD DH. It's not HD, it's DH. Use my boy DH in OU. I'm going to be pairing it with Rotom. Again, a lot of the motivation for this structure is using things. We're gonna have to keep certain things on there so we don't just get obliterated and give points away for free and make this an uninteresting live for you to watch and for me to play. So we have to have our staples, the Core V Tusk. I actually could have gone Tuskless for the first time since I have a defogger that's semi-reliable, but decided to go Tusk and spin in this case because we're going to be protective pads. It's actually not max attack. Spin in this case is actually not even for necessarily the rapid spin. It's more so for the speed, right? Because Tusk, believe it or not, with a little speed under its belt is no joke, and that attack is nothing to scoff at. 361. Look at that. Look at that adamant, bro. That's nothing to write home about. I think it's the other way around. That's something to write home about. So basically the structure was, okay, we'll pair a solid enough defensive unit. And I think these three cover for most things that I'm going to run into. Ghost, not so much. So Specs Pult will probably destroy me. We'll have to see. I have to modify the team. As we said, we're not going to spend too much time theorizing in the builder. We're going to put some things together with a general structure and edit as we go. Well, Spexpult will likely annihilate me. But there are only so many ghost types ghost resistance in the tier. And I'll end up pretty much having the same team structure every time. What I don't want to have happen is that I can't revenge the Pult easily, so it can just come in and beat me the fuck up. So I do think I'll have to change something. We're gonna play with this first version just to get the live done. If it's too big of an issue, then we'll change it right now. Right. So we have Corviknight, Terra Fairy, we got Terra Poison Rotom, right? Because Rotom, when I'm looking at the tier, I'm like, a lot of these mons are running CCs and Moonblast, and this would only allow me to have a Psychic weakness if I Terra Poison, right? And so I can see myself being in cases where I want to Terra. I was thinking about Steel, I was thinking about Ghost, both have their merits depending on the context. But imagine Terra Poisoning in front of Enamorous who's feeling itself. You know what I'm saying? You picking up what I'm putting down? Right? A Sneasler who just SD'd and feel like he's about to close combat. You picking up what I'm putting down? Right? Or a Valiant who's feeling saucy, thinking he just CC'd and gets put down. You know what I'm saying? So these are situations that I'm considering. There are other situations I can think of where the Terra Poison will be relevant, but those are primarily the ones I have on my mind. As far as the spread, there's some shit I put together. The speed and the HP are the only thing. I figured to have a little bit more SPDEF. Just a benchmark defense stat. There's some things I have in my head from what I've used. Well, actually, no. Just some shit. We're going to try it out. These days, my emphasis is more on the ensuring the featured mon somewhat does its job. And then we outplay the rest. And then modify it a bit to where it's not the same team over and over again or the same structure and over again. So this is more offensive. There's no real wall other than maybe Corviknight. But beyond that, we're going to hop into it and see what Decidueye does. I think it's going to perform. We're a little under 1900. I think we're 40-something points away. And with a few wins, 2-3 wins here, should allow us to put in the title High Ladder. But this time with Academy teams. Because obviously, we could just load up some standard teams and do what we were doing. Play more in the 2000s. But two reasons for that. It's not as interesting for me to play a game with just boring teams. And the second reason is that the OLT is going on right now. So, I guess I could play some higher games, but the ladder's probably so high right now for OLT that it's not even funny. Let me see what the ladder's at. Actually, it's not that high. 21. I thought it'd be higher than that. Okay. But yeah. So, getting into the thick of it. Baxcalibur's Icicle Crash is just an absolute disaster of a situation. That plus Earthquake, right? So Baxcalibur is going to be very handsome here, very sexy. My Tuskies are really good as well. Dragapult, I don't think he'll be expecting this set, and it will destroy him for that reason. Corviknight's core purpose is to wall Baxcalibur. Maybe Hatterene too, depending on what it is. Primarily Baxcalibur. Really everything except the Goldengo Zapdos. I'll try to mess him up early with my Dragapult and then punish the remainder of his build after that. With either Baxcalibur or Great Tusk. Rotom, too many liabilities. Like if I start Rotom and he Goldengos, I'm getting punished by Goldeng is another mon that I struggle with. So the worst case scenario for me would be a Goldengo or like an offensive Goldengo or an opposing backs. Zapdos is an option, but Zapdos is an horrible lead in my opinion. So this is phenomenal for two reasons. One is likely gonna give me data on what kind of player he is. Let me see where he's at rank wise, 17th, and it's gonna give me data on what is likely. It's probably gonna go to Hatterene. I would crash, but that's super risky. If he doesn't have Glaive Rush himself, yeah. So, bro, that gives me a lot of insight. If I Glaive Rush back, 1, I would have killed him. 2, he terrored immediately. So, debating whether or not I'm gonna keep my typing on my Dragapult. I don't see too many reasons to lose it. The Baxcalibur's Glaive Rush is going to be an issue because it's banded Icicle Crash. If I Terra this, what does that mean for me? Not too much. Fortunately, I do not get. Fortunately, I do not get. What's the move called? That's the thing called. I do not get flinched. There we go. And so the opponent's going to likely try to take advantage of this with something that can punish. I can crash 28%. Bax is mid risk. If I switch into it, I'll probably live with like 1% if he stays in. Him losing his his typing is not great for me. I'm gonna roost one more time. I know Zapdos is likely gonna come in. The beauty of it is that I get to reposition into Rotom, and then I can scout out what the Bax will lock itself into. Which, I mean, truth be told, why wouldn't it just lock itself into Glaive Rush? I think Corv can take 2 rushes. I could be wrong about that, because I'm debating whether or not it was better to roost or to it was better to roost or to if I can't take 2, then it was a mistake, and then I'll have to give up the Decidueye. Is that max? Oh wow, not at all. Okay. Okie doke. So that puts me in an awkward spot. I thought I'd take the Glaive Rush a lot better. There's 4 left, which means 0 left for cards. Tusk would take 1. Okay, so I'm gonna take advantage of the situation and likely catch his Hatterene. I thought I'd 2-hit KO him. What's my Sarah type still? Thought I'd 2-hit KO him, but I knew I'd catch the Hatterene, and this is a really big. This is really big for me to have Hatterene in, because Dragapult is gonna have to be my win condition. Unfortunately, though, I don't have anything for the Draining Kiss since I already terra'd. I'll have to play this game differently then. So I'm getting a Brave Birding. He's gonna Draining Kiss and get back decent amount, but the combination of this plus 2 Brave Birds, because he's likely gonna Calm Mind, which will recoil style me, yeah. Which will mean that my Baxcalibur can Icicle Crash, and my Great Tusk can go for Headlong Rush. I suppose it's possible the Bax doesn't kill it. If it doesn't kill it, so be it. I'll lose the game. Okay, I figured as much. Which means allow me to get rocks up. He's going to his Bax. He has the advantage, so that makes sense. But as I said, the game's far from over. I just have to play it very, very wisely. So Glaive Rush. If I were to Dragapult, because this is a speed tie. But he doesn't know, yeah. He doesn't know my set. Because if I play properly, I can Glaive Rush sweep him. Or Icicle Crash sweep him. So here, the opponent will go for knockoff. I could also Great Tusk sweep him. But that's more like unlikely. What I'm not pleased with was I underestimated how important the Zap was. So what I should have done was double back-to-back Excalibur on the Zapdos. That would be a night and day game. Because if push comes to shove, or I go Rotom on it. Right, Rotom probably can take 2 Icicle Crashes. But me allowing Corviknight to take that much damage really fucked me up. So I'm thinking, okay, the risk versus rewards here. If this is a defensive Tusk. So my player is the backs. If he knocks, which I expect, that's the worst possible play he could have made. Just Stealth Rocks. Is it Air Balloon? Does 50%. I think this, I mean, if this is Scarf, then fucked, right? Because the issue is that the back Excalibur, because I technically could Glaive Rush Sweep from here. Oh no, because the Zapdos would eat me. 44%. Well, let's find out if he's Scarf. I'll die if he makes it rain. I don't know if he's Scarf. Push come to shove, he'd likely try to go to the Clodsire here, expecting me to be Spexed. Oh, he's Scarf. Dang. I lose now. This is a tough loss to take because I had the tools to win. I just did not respect how problematic Terra Ice would be. So usually, you know, we wall back Excalibur with our Corviknights and stuff, but Terra Ice in particular, and the risk versus reward of my opponent. So my opponent, it's funny, my opponent not knowing what he's doing actually was very useful for him because let's see, I technically could still win because he Toxics here. My opponent not knowing what he's doing, meaning like if I win the speed tie turn 1, depending on what he does, like if he Icicle Crash, I don't think he'd one-shot me. Now if it's some miracle that Bax dies to one Banded Terra Ice, then so be it. And he's like, okay, well, I'll just trade Bax for Bax. But the Terra Ice fucked my Corviknight up and changed the whole game. Let's say he goes to Toxic here. I can't switch out my Bolt. So I'll just 2 KO this. He EQs. Yeah. Because if I go Bax there on the EQ, I get to save Bolt and Bax. So my win con here is outspeeding his Bax and flinching it. Because I can't Glaive Rush. Glaive Rush would kill his Bax, but it won't kill his Tusk, and it's going to hurt me in the end. So I got to win the tie. He goes Tusk first, which makes some sense. Is it Body Press? Okay. Yeah. That was a tough loss to take because it was such an easy game to win. But we learned our lesson there. We got to be mindful of, I've never seen Terra Ice banded. But that makes sense if you're like struggling with Corviknight and you just want to catch it off guard. Unfortunately, Decidueye was of no use. And as I said, like Scarf Goldengo or any kind of Ghost Spam would be giving me a hard time. So once I saw the Goldengo and I saw the potential Scarf and he caught my Corviknight, I was like, okay, we're in for a hard game here. I'm 2 Goldengo weak. So I'll have to fix something to solve that. I'll just outplay the next guy, but I'll have to look into some alternatives. No gold. Oh, he has a Goldengo. And this guy's far lower. But as I said, I'll just outplay this guy since I found out at least early what one of my weaknesses are. But let's break this down. The Decidueye HD also guards well against Sandy Shocks with this typing, which is great, which forces a Terra. It's actually wonderful in this game, especially if you mindless Samurats. Rotom is phenomenal. Rotom is probably going to be especially the Terra Poison factor. Corviknight shuts down. Potential Valiant and Gambit. Dragapult is a menace, but not too menacing. Not like, oh my goodness, how do they beat it menacing? Tusk is menacing as fuck. Headlong rush to a KO or KOs every member on his team. So it's really just doing this and winning this in phases, depending on how mindlessly the opponent plays. Like for example, right here, no respect for Decidueye because he may have just wasted his entire samurai here, unless he anticipates me to. Let me think. If I were to, I could kill this here. I could U-turn out into Tusk, but I don't even want him getting up Ceaseless Edge. If I U-turn into Tusk, I headlong rush, get a KO or a 2A KO on something. So Sacred Swords, excellent defense fell. Roost here, tries to Ceaseless Edge. He has the gold angle, so I'll let him have it. Triple arrow would mean that I'm staring down what Valiant. I don't want to stare down Valiant. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. It's a downside of the edge, but that sucks, man. Because that gives me a lot advantage wise. Because now neither of my 3 grounders are taking damage. I have no idea why he went Sandy Shocks. He's getting desperate. Like Sandy Shocks made no sense. He's getting desperate. So okay, I'm just want some rocks. I'm just thirsty for some rocks, man. It's me some rocks out here, man. This is a concerning Pokemon. Substitute was never to play. You always attack me there. So this gives me 2 advantages. One, I have the Terra Fairy, but I also have Sub, so I'll probably force his Terra. Bro stays in the Dragon Pros. This could be dangerous. I'll sub again to see what he'll do. I do think he has Terra. Alright. Speed boost Valiente. Is it physical? Encore. I think I said in my oh, if he has Encore this would be a problem. Corvi, I mean I get it. I have Decidueye for Gambit. He hasn't Terra'd yet, so it is Swords Dance. CC won't knock me out unless he Terras knocks. Come on, are you serious, dude? Fuck. Fuck. That's gonna, man, I might have just lost because of that. Like, I might just lose. Getting no damage off is like, yeah, I think I just lost because of that crit. I just needed some damage. Maybe would have done probably half, a little over half. And then I'd force him to CC, then I shard kill him. Now I'm pretty sure I lose. It is what it is. Because I don't have a Terra type that can solve for this. I can get him to CC, I guess, but Rotom isn't Fizz Def. Yeah. I guess that's going to be just that kind of live today. Though I didn't get hacks in the last game. He actually has Spirit Break, so he doesn't have fucking CC. Alright, let me break this down. Me sacking Tusk there was big, and now Gambit's a problem. And my Decidueye is supposed to be there for the Gambit. Not again, it's gonna clap me. Fuck. He doesn't have close combat, so that makes that crit even more bullshitty. Let's see what we can do. Defense fell. Don't think any of this will end up mattering, but I can try. He may switch out. I would. The Encore. That Encore plus the crit. Done deal. I don't know why he didn't just go. Walking Wake was a misplay. He should have went straight to. I don't think it'll end up mattering, but he should have went straight to. He goes Golden Go. Gambit's crazy. Gambit is a crazy play. I think that steals his fate. Gambit's a crazy play. Fuck. Just gotta see how much Goldengo does, really. If If it's Specs Gold, then I mean, if it's... I was trying to get enough health back to where I won't get too killed by a Shadow Ball, but if he's physically... If he's... We'll see. I'm pretty sure I lose, though. So the team is not doing well. The team is not fucking doing well. It's really not. In this game, it wasn't the team. And honestly, in last game, it wasn't the team either. So I don't mind too much. I'll roost. Focus Blast. And hits. So, similarly to... Well, actually, no. The other teams clapped. Both games weren't the team. So I don't mind the losses from that standpoint. I don't like losing my points. Which takes us further, but I knew we were going to have struggles in testing it initially to see if the team has synergy. We definitely got to fix the ghost weakness. But yeah, the knockoff crit was big. The first Ceaseless Edge didn't matter. He was going to get one spike up if he hit every Ceaseless Edge. But I just roosted and defogged them away. So I knew as long as he hit the last Ceaseless Edge that I kill him on, it would matter. So only one of those mattered. But they didn't matter nearly as much as critting my Corviknight, because then I lost half my team to beat that Valiant. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. Honestly, if I kill this Moltres somehow, if he just sacks, how can I get him to sack Moltres? Or get him to sack Guard. I'm trying to get him to sack Guard. I'm going to go Earthquake straight up here. No. Icicle Crash is better. I want him to sack Guard. Moltres makes absolutely no sense if he uses it. Actually, Glaive Rush is better. Yeah, Glaive Rush is better. He has no Dragon immunity. This could be Terra Fairy, but I mean, I don't know why Terra turn 1. It's interesting that SD almost beats him. Depending on the tough speed tier. But, you know, Terra is a thing. But you may lose a Mon here. That's why you don't want to lead poorly versus something you can't guard against. That's rule number 1 of leads. But if he gives me the Moltres, it gives me the wow. Gives me a defense boost. So Walking Way comes in. That's annoying. How the fuck did he live a fucking Glaive Rush? He must have a hell of that. There's no way. There's no way he should be able to survive that. There's no way. There's no fucking way, dude. Wow. 81 fucking % chance to kill. It is what it is, though. We'll move on. That double wasn't worth it, especially because you can't beat Rotom. Unless you're Slack Off. I'm assuming that's not the case, which is why he did this. Yeah. And then you use that turn to Future Sight. The reason I say that is because the... Oh shit, let me think. Is it better to have... Yeah, it's better to Hydro Pump here. I'd assume he doesn't have Slack Off, otherwise he would have used it. What's up with these Slack Offless Slowking? So I know Mouse Hole would come in, which is what I want. Because I want Corviknight and... Because that's funny, I could Will-O-Wisp him here. But I want Corviknight to be taking both the Future Sight and the Mouse Hole. So goes to Slowking. Very interesting decision. Especially if he... yeah. So Moltres is irrelevant, as I've said. Let's see if he has U-turn. But I said Rotom's positioning is incredible. Yeah, it says U-turn, but what now, right? Slowking keeps coming in. How much did Hydro do? Hydro did... I can't believe that shit lived. 23%. Guard comes in. That's what we want to see. So Guard's finna Terra. Does not Terra. So what are you going to do? Just Sulk here mindlessly? Okay. By all means, go for it, brother. Okay. Now we reposition the backstage. 1, 2 fucking KO a motherfucker in this bitch. I can't get burnt, so that's wonderful. Moltres getting hit there is big for yeah, you gotta go for Pop Bomb. Now the downside is that he can have Encore. So what I'll do is Roost here. If he has it, he'll use it here. Excuse me. Oh, the power! Alright, so Garg to raise potential ugly head here. Otherwise, you're gonna get dropped. My issue is that the fucking Moltres is a problem still. I actually don't like the idea of letting my Decidueye thing get burned. My worst case scenario is if he fucking goes for tidy up here. So I'll be a bit aggressive here just because I want to wrap this the fuck up. I didn't show Headlong Rush last time. Because I'm likely staring down Moltres, but all I'll do is just go hard backs again and get the situation handled. The only difference is that he'll be slightly healthier this time. So what I'll do is crash instead of grave rushing. The reason being I don't want Tusk. I didn't expect him to go hard Tusk. But I was gonna say the reason is because I don't want Tusk. I'm very surprised I took it, but I guess I shouldn't be. Speed Tusk is weak as fuck. Speed Tusk is weak as fuck. Now he gets the rapid spin off, so be it. So be it, bro. I'll take your Tusk. Take your Tusk from you. Oh, he spinners. That's blessed. Oh, that's perfect. Because I want this. You know, it's the fucking mascot of the game, but I mean of the live, but so now he can't get rid. He has tidy up, so he could get rid of it through that. Tidy up would be a wild play, but so what I'm thinking is it's better to core. If he tidies up, so be it. I think you should pop bomb there every time. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Pop bomb comes close, but I have Ice Shard now. This is no longer necessary beyond beating the mouse hole. I'll Brave Bird in case it has like Terra Ghost or something. Okay. That worked. Gave up your Terra though. Why is he tidying upping? Unless this learns some kind of mystical move that I'm not aware of. But or he's praying my back zone that doesn't have Ice Shard. So the mouse soul is gone. Walking Wake is a wild decision. Wow. Wasn't this Proto? No, this is Specs. Corby's actually legit. I need his Garg to get clapped. But he won't let me clap his Garg. I want rocks up. So let's see how much this does. He can't go for anything other than Dragon Stab. Which I probably take 2 of, right? Which is wondrous. Wonderful. I'm surprised he Gargs, because Gargs kills. Garg means Mouse Soul is dead. Unless he hards to the Mouse Soul here. Yeah, Moltres is, yeah. So that means Mouse Soul is dead. Which means it's over. No, we just go Road Marsh here. Slowking is going to get punished by rocks, so you can't even go to Rocks plus Burn. And positionally, the Rotom is impeccable. If I hit this Hydro Pump, the Garg is finished. It's probably protect Salt Cure Garg, but patience is key here. We don't need to rush the process. You can take my Tusk health. Go ahead and take it, bro. Take my Tusk health. So he sees the Headlong Rush. Now he knows what's really good. Clicking at it again. I don't care about the Moltres. Eventually, I'll be able to Hydro Pump his Tusk, his Garg, and then Dragapult will win. But I do want to time this properly. I don't want to be reckless about it, you know. So I say Corv, because Corv's Iron Defense body press comes through as well, but I need him to lock himself into a move that Excalibur gets the KO from, right? Surf probably doesn't do a KO backs, but just want to be. So there's the guard. Please hit. I need to hit this one. This time. He's gotten fucking comfortable, and that's the shit I was afraid of. I knew he got comfortable there. That was the timing is so big in Pokemon. I do have, and this is the shit I was talking about, friends. This is exactly what I was talking about. One of those Hydro Pumps hit, game over. So the game is now harder. The game is now harder than it needs to be, and he has the leverage when he shouldn't, but that's okay. All we do here is Headlong Rush. I knew he got comfortable. That was a stupid fucking play. Rapid Spin was technically, well, I guess not. I could just spin on Moltres. The only difference is that if I attacked into Moltres with the Rapid Spin, at least I get to keep the Tusk. If I Headlong Rush in the spin, I don't. But that's like, the Garg was finished. Well, based on how much it took from Hydro Pump, it might have been more Spadef, which means Glaive Rush would just come in and beat him to the bits, right? So it was not like the game wasn't over necessarily, but just, you know, making it harder than it needs to be. Because Rotom was super important, and I was like, okay, I'll just, if it means getting a ton off on the Garg, I'll do it. But that's Hydra, right? So it's gonna miss. We're gonna wrap the live up right there. Horrible performance by the team, but one thing I am grateful for is that it wasn't, none of the games were because of the team, right? The Valiant not critting there would likely have not led to a loss on our end, and the first game I just did not play well around the Excalibur. I underestimated how much damage that shit would do to me. Cause Scarm, Corviknight is comparable to Scarm in defense, but I'm forgetting to process the fact that the only reason it's taking the hit so fucking well is because it's a steel type. Right, so yeah, should have gave up Decidueye there, which would have sealed the deal, but you learn your lesson there. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.